out. No Way Out, 71 cents. Perfect World, I got a 5.
Whoa!
Revenge, $1.22. 6.46 for Robin Hood. 54 cents for Silverado. 43 cents for Testament. Tin Cup, I got 78 cents. Untouchables, 67 cents. The War, 34. Waterworld, 87. That's paying for itself.
Kevin Costner is known for a quiet kind of confidence, never flashy, never chasing the spotlight, yet every time he appears, he naturally draws the entire room's attention.
You know, I didn't project what was going to happen in my life that way.
You're a very sick person, by the way.
I'm glad one of us said it. You're going to make Kevin Costner blush.
But I know you have like 7 kids and you're, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I have all the stuff, so
Yeah, you got things
safe
going
to say
on.
I know what I'm doing.
Snoop Dogg is no exception to Kevin Hart's radar, because once he picks a target, that person quickly becomes the centerpiece of the joke.
So I had this pretty amazing day, and now I'm about to go home. And I go to the White House, and I said, yeah. We get on the helicopter, we go across the Potomac, the Marines salute, we get off on the White House lawn. We go across it, he pretends to not hear what they're saying. So I'm thinking, okay, now the day's over. And he says, you want to play some horseshoes? I said, my Patty, okay. And so we play 2 out of 3, and now he's going to have dinner, because Andre was his guest and had a girlfriend, a really pretty girl, and even the president commented.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a pretty girl. So I'm thinking, my day's over, and he goes, you want to swim in the pool? And I said, by myself? And he goes, yeah, we got all the stuff, all those T-shirts that come from the universities. I'm swimming in the pool like this. And finally I go, I'm not sure about this. And so I get out of the pool, I'm going away, and he says, do you want to have dinner? And I said, yeah, fine, I'll have dinner. So I have dinner with him. Politics is never brought up by him, and as we starting to get in the car, he says, you know, I'm going to Russia tomorrow. I'm going to work these guys over. He gave me like a 5-minute thing on what he was going to do. He was very concise, but never talked about politics at all. And so now the next morning, I'm thinking about my day, and I'm in the trailer, and Oliver comes in. He's like really grumpy. And I say this, and I go, what's the matter, Oliver? You know, I went over to the White House, and they gave me the B tour, not even the A tour. The B tour. He's always upset about something. He gave me the B tour. He says, I didn't even get to see the pool because there was somebody in it.
Right in the middle of filming, Kevin Costner and his stunt double even ended up receiving an unexpected side mission that no one saw coming.
In the movie, and now we had lunch, and one of my stunt guys came up to me. I was just getting to know him a little bit. We're out in the country, and he goes, you want to go hunt for some mushrooms? And I said, what kind of mushrooms? And the guy goes, you know, the good kind. I said, okay, let's go. So we head out into this field, and he's telling me what they look like, and we're kind of looking out there, and he finds one, and then he finds another one, and I can't find one. And after he find a few of these things, I said, hey man, how do you? I said, how come you're seeing them? And he goes, I said, how did this work? And he says, well, you have a mushroom, and then they tell you where to find the others. And I said, all right, I get the logic, but we're doing a sword fight right after this. I said, and he went, you know, that's a good point too. So.
Kevin Costner once had a highly unexpected visitor at his home. Stephen Hawking came to see him just to ask about a music icon.
He wanted to meet me, so he came to the house. I actually had my 3, my oldest was 12, and I said, I want you to meet this man. I didn't really know a lot about him, honestly. I'm a public school guy, so Stephen Hawking, let's go. So I wasn't sure, so he came, and I was obviously taken back. He was in that wheelchair, he wasn't able to move. I got him a drink, and most of it ended up on the floor, and I saw my children just a little bit shocked, and I said to them, look, if you want to go finish your homework, you can do that. And of course, they peeled off because I thought this isn't going to work for them. But yeah, he came over, you know.
Wow. What, did he ever explain why specifically he wanted?
I was waiting for it, and finally he said, I'd like to know about Whitney Houston. And I said, well, okay, you're just like me. Let's get to it. I said, you're not the only one, Steve. A lot of people want to know about Whitney. I said, what?
But Kevin's final punchline is what pushes everything even further. It wraps up his performance. Kevin Costner may be respected across Hollywood, but in front of his 6-year-old daughter, he still has to accept very blunt feedback.
I was watching Black or White. There's this moment where I'm coming out of a pool, and I was studying it because I didn't want her really in the room, but she came in and sat next to me, and I didn't really feel it because I was really concentrating. And then I get pulled out of the pool, and it's done. And then I look over to her, and Dad, you got a fat belly. and I looked at her, you got a big belly. And I thought, I tried to explain to her character development.
Kevin, one of my favorite parts of the movie was when you were playing catch with your father.
Yeah.
It was absolutely touching to me because my lack of my father's presence in my life. Yesterday, you were playing catch with your son. How was that like?
That was good, I wanted to have that moment with him because we played since we were little. That's all we do in our house is throw shit. We just think it turns into a game, right? We just do that. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
We just play that way, and
Sharing a room with Sean Connery is definitely a humbling experience, and Kevin Costner was no exception.
I remember one time, I was with Sean. I was in Chicago, and as I was kind of talking to him, there's this girl was really trying to get my attention. She was cute. Rush over there because Sean told me a story one time of a girl sitting next to him that kept tapping him, and he knew she was there. He knew he was going to get to her, but he kept up his conversation, kept it up, finally tapping. Finally, when this conversation was over and he really wanted to see what the bird was all about, he looked over at her, and her cigarette was just now hanging out of her. And finally, I'm kind of done with him, and I think, well, I'll stroll over and see what she really wants. So I did. I walked, and she was behind the ribbon, and I got really close to her. I said, yeah, and she goes, could you get me Sean's autograph? I felt like I had a cigarette hanging out of my mouth like this. I said, yeah, of course I do.
The biggest star.
A cobra, I think, in my life. It's like I'm not really aware of the danger at all of anything. It's like, when I cast Whitney, did you know she was African American? Yes, I saw that. Just happened to think she was the cutest girl that could sing.
Kevin Costner appeared in The Big Chill.
I want to reflect back on some of your work because we should take a look at some of the wonderful, the body of work that there's that. There's that. There's that. It's just a wonderful body of work.
Before Kevin Costner became a name Hollywood would recognize, he started out through far more difficult days than most people realize.
Can you tell me about what that?
Well, I've had a journey in the movie when I didn't really even know how I was going to make my way in this business. As I came to Hollywood, I would sleep in my camper right here on La Brea and Sunset, and right by a phone. I didn't have anyone to call, and I eventually got a job at Raleigh Studios, which was to move cable and move all these lights. All this probably even worked here for $3.50 an hour. And so for me, if I was going to take out trash in my life, it was going to be movie trash.
Sure.
And of course, I wanted to be an actor, so I was going to class at night. And when I got a chance to be an extra in Ron Howard's movie with Michael Keaton starring, I was really, really happy. I have managed to do all of it in this. There's not a piece of equipment on this stage that I haven't had to pull out of a truck or put into.
And I think now, I just want to reflect back on some of your work because we should take a look at some of the wonderful, the body of work that there's that. There's that. There's that. It's just a wonderful body of work. Yeah, but I think that it's interesting because I feel like, I mean, maybe it's because I'm older now, but I used to look at that age as being really old.
Yeah, ain't you?
And now that I'm that age, I'm 47, and I think I don't.
We're just living a lie, Ellen. We're just living a lie.
Yeah, we're in complete denial.
We're just really old.
Yeah.
We're gonna race you.
Just sitting here congratulating ourselves for looking so young.
Oprah Winfrey brings up the famous limo scene, and the moment Kevin Costner reacts, the story instantly feels different from a standard interview.
And then I said, Bill, why don't you put the thing up? And then I went back to kissing her and, and zipping and stuff. And the scene was all over, and he yelled, cut, and he said, what were you doing? And I said, I just thought that's what
you would do.
Happened. And they later on, like 2 months later, went back and shot the limo guy.
Oh, did they?
Just responding to the thing that I had done, and it cut in perfectly.
Kevin Costner doesn't just take on roles to finish a job. There are projects he believes in so deeply that he is willing to invest his own money, especially when music becomes the emotional core of the story.
And then you told me that you paid for it.
I did. Well, sometimes that's what you have to do if you want to get a good part.
That's not true. Come on.
Well, it was a movie that wasn't going to get made, and Rob Marshall couldn't turn his back on you, right? When I read this movie, I thought, I have to make this movie. I have to say these words. It was such a good speech in the end, I thought to myself, I'm the only person that can actually screw this up, too. I lost sleep thinking that I wouldn't do that right.
So fast.
I was just back in Ventura, my hometown. I played a concert back there on Saturday, and I met all the guys that I knew again, and hadn't seen them in a long time, and they were all about 5 inches shorter than me.
Well, just curious, does that give you an empathy with people that are smaller?
No, I got them all in headlocks.
Mock them. We were talking about this today around the office. There aren't many truly great baseball movies. You have made 2 of them. 3.
Well, Love of the Game. I pitched a perfect game. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
A perfect game.
3 of them. I was going to say. Yes. 3.
Going to a film festival in France is already a big opportunity, and Kevin Costner clearly had no intention of letting that trip pass quietly.
You brought your kids to the premiere?
Yeah, I wanted them to see me work.
Yeah.
I had 5 of them and got them tuxedos. I bought them dresses.
If this movie doesn't work out, this is the last vacation Daddy's taking you on?
I did. I wanted to know how worried they were that they were going to stick with me and support me. And the minute they got there, my 2 sons went fishing, got a boat, went fishing. My 3 daughters ended up on a boat, said they would see me around 3 or 4 o'clock, me working, and then made a call, and they were drinks at this point. So they cruised in about 8 o'clock at night. I've been working. I said, we came to France to be as a family. And they go, it's working great, Dad. Go.
What struck you this time? Why did you want to make it now?
Well, I thought I might have a hard time getting over that fence, too, and chasing those criminals on feet. No, actually, I thought I could play it, but I went in and put out 10, 15 pounds to do it. And
Niurka Marcos is no stranger to controversy either, but on the Premios Juventud red carpet, tensions with the media escalate to an uncomfortable level.
the stakes were high. It wouldn't be too much to say that they were life and death. I was stalking my poor dog below me. He was unaware that he was the enemy and that I was about to pounce. He was a terrier, and his fierce growl, once it started, would bring my parents running. And we would roll back and forth like that bad Western, and I would continue to stab him. It was a mighty battle that I managed to never lose, and my parents warned me, my dad specifically, that he was going to bite me and that they wouldn't blame him if he did. My father was from the Panhandle, so he was comfortable saying that kind of stuff to me. I was growing, and a year later I was 5. And on my first day of sharing in kindergarten, I was sent home with a note on my shirt. I couldn't read, so I guess that was the point. We were told to bring our favorite thing to share, the thing that we love the most. I brought my father's 30-30.